I am Feel It.
And I am Fix It. And we talk about life.
And stuff and things.
With the occasional rant.
Which you will have no problem doing.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening or good night. Whatever it is, wherever you are, I hope you're having a good one.
Do you try to breathe when you say that?
No.
Okay. Absolutely. It didn't look like you were breathing.
No, didn't need to. Don't need to breathe for that.
Okay.
I got enough lung capacity for that one.
All right. Is that what makes it sound like so cheesy too?
Yes.
Not breathing? Okay.
Yes. Say it all in one breath.
Okay.
No breaks. Because the other is like, yeah, I could also do it. Hello. Good morning. And now I'm a stalker.
How about no?
I don't want to be a stalker.
No.
I don't want to be a stalker, you know.
Good call, though. Good call.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
No thanks.
Mm-hmm. It works, so, you know, there's...
Sure.
I think it works.
It gets across.
And since nobody's commenting that it isn't, I'm going to keep doing it.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Yep. And here we are.
Here we are. Super blah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not blah.
I'm
not
rough. I'm rough.
I am not overly energetic, but I'm kind of chill. I'm good.
I am blah. Like super blah.
Sorry to hear that.
It's a beautiful day. We talked about taking a walk.
Kinda
that
nice.
didn't happen.
Kind of nice, yeah.
I mean, it's still cold.
Definitely chilly. It's still chilly. I mean, it's in the 40s, so that's nice, but it's not warm. I mean, it's Michigan warm.
I feel like there's been drastic temperature changes, and I feel like there's more coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we had... Yesterday, we got like an inch of snow in a couple of hours.
Oh, like 2. I would say more like 2.
Okay, let's say 2 inches of snow in a couple of hours. And then earlier in the day, it was like...
It was cold.
It was cold, but it was...
The day before.
The day before, we had like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
There was people out on motorcycles and bikes, and everybody and their brother walking their dogs or just going for walks.
I feel like I've had a sinus headache for like 3 weeks.
Uh-huh. It's like constant yo-yo weather. It's not my friend.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Feeling that today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of chill. I'm not...
Calm before the storm.
Yeah, it's about to get... We're about to get very chaotic.
Again.
This
Enjoyed your few weeks off.
This is going to be a very, very chaotic. Once it starts, once this ball starts rolling, it's going to be very chaotic very quickly.
So just by the end of this coming week, by this time next week, we will no longer legally own our home.
Yes.
The home that we are sitting in right now.
Mm-hmm. We'll still have possession, but we won't technically own it.
Correct.
Yep.
We will be tenants.
Which will be weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah. We will be rent-free tenants.
And
but we're already treating it like we don't own it, so.
And trying to be very nice to it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, we've only ever had one place that we paid rent for.
Technically, yeah.
And he was sad to see us go.
Yeah.
So I like to think I'm a good renter.
Yeah.
With the exception of a ceiling fan that fell apart literally the day we were cleaning the whole place out. The ceiling fan broke.
And it was a nice little duplex.
It was.
I liked it very much.
It was a nice little place, and I cleaned some stuff up, and actually I put in better toilets than what he had in there, and he thought that was weird. It's like, well, what do I owe you for that? Like, nothing. I call it nothing. I'm not asking you to.
Just
it's like
wanted a taller toilet.
And if you don't like them, I'll keep the old one. We can put the old one back on. He's like, nope, that's good. That's fine.
Well, let's see how that started. Let's go down that rabbit hole for a second.
Oh, okay.
The taller toilet. So how it started was getting one on sale when we were remodeling the tiny crap trailer that we lived in.
Yes.
That was given to us.
Mm-hmm.
We gutted, but we referenced just last week.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know like the difference. Didn't really think about it until you have one, right? Because you're not having to like sit as low. Mm-hmm. And then you notice the difference when you go to other people's homes or places that have shorter toilets.
It's like you're sitting on the floor. It's weird.
So then when we move into this duplex, I was like, man, I missed that toilet. Now, oddly, then through time, we have always replaced the toilets to be taller. Mm-hmm. I will say there was a point where medically that was very, very helpful when my joints were killing me every day. That was fantastic. Loved that.
Well, unless you have really small kids, there's no benefit in not having the taller.
They totally didn't know the difference. And they were young when we started that.
Yeah, we just put a footstool right there and they were good to go.
But yes, that's how that started. Kind of a funny side note. Yeah. But yes, we are in that process. We have this home then to pack, and there isn't a lot of that to do, but probably the garage is more than anything else. Mm-hmm. And
like I said, a lot of that's
it's a chaotic process.
There's a bunch of stuff that's already in boxes, and some of it just the boxes need to be combined better. And I think that
just talking about it, like all the things that will need to be done, and making checklists and processing it, because we will have a very thin timeline.
Yes.
If this all works out the way it's set up right now. Mm-hmm. And the March will go by quick.
It will.
It'll go by very quickly.
No doubt.
So. And
we still haven't heard back on the place we put in on,
the appraisal.
Our accepted offer with the appraisal. We did the inspection and that went pretty
Friday.
Good. And then they had the appraisal, and we haven't heard anything.
Well, we'll hear something in the next few days, I would think.
Yes, we should. It's just one of those not knowing if everything's going along smoothly is a little nerve-wracking.
We had the worst thing that we would have expected already explained to us. So,
yep, which is good. So there's all of that fun stuff.
Had the taxes done yesterday. The first full year being completely self-employed. That was special, but I didn't not expect it. Right. So just more things to juggle, dealing with and paying for, and make sure you get this, that, and that done, and all the places that need my new address suddenly became a light to me yesterday. All the things that are mailed to my home. But I was like, oh, yeah, that's a lot of addresses.
It's a lot of addresses.
Yeah, because a lot of my business stuff comes to my home. So, because when I started, I did not have the legal lease that I have had for the last year and a half. When I got everything set up, I had my home, and then I got that lease. So I just didn't change it.
Yeah. At least that one. Until we have a piece of paper that really says that's our place as of this date.
Well, we can't really change anything until that
happens. That's like I can't do nothing, and it's like
it's just a lot to do with at once.
Now, for you, you could theoretically, or at least you could change your professional stuff to your office.
I could change it,
and then you could always change it later.
Let me tell you the reason why I don't. Because those places send me checks for whatever reason. They haven't gone to the electronic world. Mm-hmm. And I would rather get the check to my home.
Yes.
Because there isn't a delay in checking that mail. Whereas at my office, it's not checked every day.
Sure.
And I'm not technically there every day.
Also true. But it's like it'll be 5 minutes away?
It'll be like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
But that being said, it was like one of those moments where I was like, holy crap, do we need a checklist? And I don't know, maybe part of it is daunting to me, and that's why my brain is a little fried. Though, and I do have like very real things I need to deal with, which I'm not saying I won't, I will. But nobody ever looks forward to having to, I don't know about anybody listening, but despite my position, I do not look forward to sending difficult emails. And that being like this client I'd started with who I can't see him for a few weeks because of his schedule and mine, and he needs some guidance now, and I'm going to kind of reiterate what we talked about and then provide some of those techniques and tactics that he was asking for. But it's just one of those very difficult situations that I was processing. And oddly, I was processing as we were listening to the sermon this morning.
Okay.
2 different clients as we were listening to the sermon this morning. Why? Because somehow I slept till almost 10 o'clock, which is so rare. But okay. Whatever. I clearly needed that.
Yes.
So we listened to the sermon today online. Also love that. Technology.
Mm-hmm.
One of the good things that came out of COVID.
True enough.
Churches haven't stopped. But anyway, just the things that were coming to me, and I was kind of trying to take note, and then my brain was just like, but I don't want to right now. So we've spent the day watching true crime. I haven't watched true crime documentaries in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the things we could have got caught up on, Landman. I could just watch the last episode of 1923, which I'm not, because I'm not going to make it through the rest of it. I already know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of all the things, you know, what is that show that we watched that has, oh my gosh, his name just went on my head. The Animal Patrol. Is it Animal Patrol? Is that what it's called?
Animal Control.
Animal Control.
Yes.
Yes. You know, just to get caught up on anything. And then, I don't know, I had something flash up, you know, the beauty of the stalker phone. This is the funny part. Not so funny, haha. I'm pretty sure what I talked about it in front of my phone, because I was thinking to myself, man, I haven't looked up anything like that in forever. Why would that be coming up? But I was talking, this is the scary part. I was talking with somebody not that long ago about different true crime episodes that were kind of like popular. And it was a colleague and just, you know, conversing that like, I really haven't had time with packing and stuff. And I know winter's normally when you'd like hunker down and spend the weekend binging something, but I just haven't. And normally that would be my thing. Well, then I noticed this was Friday. Well, then I noticed today, Sunday, this morning, these things were like flashing up on my phone. Like the 5 Michigan-based, here I'm going to say it in front of my phone again, 5 Michigan-based true crime documentaries released 2025. And I was like, what? And then I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, just talking about that. And then it was, okay, what platforms do we have and what are these on? And so then we sat and started watching it, and even you were creeped out.
Yeah.
That did not end how I thought it was going to end.
No, it was weird.
And I know it's only March, people, but, you know, like some of these were like late last year because it was 2026 now. So I'm going to guess they weren't out that long. But anyway,
yeah.
What was it called? Unknown Number?
Yes.
Unknown Number.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was out of Beale City, Michigan.
Yeah.
And then there was a 48 Hours episode that was out of the Adrian area.
Yeah.
Adrian, Michigan.
Like yep.
And there was something else. Oh, the other one I'd already watched. That one was from up in the UP. Mm-hmm. That was the chick that cut the guy up in pieces and then they possibly ate him.
Glad I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I've watched that one. I've watched a couple versions of that one.
Good with not having seen that.
But it was specifically advertising the one that came out last year. The version that came out last year. But anyway. Yeah. So that's how I've spent our afternoon. Completely unproductive. While my brain was processing things I need to send in an email. And talk about tomorrow in session.
You know, sometimes rest is the most productive thing you can do.
I still feel tired.
There's different kinds of rest.
That is so true.
Like I guarantee you've probably told your client, at least a client, that sometimes it's like you should not feel guilty about taking a rest when you need a rest.
All the time. Yeah, all the time. And part of it too, the calm before the storm. Like we know by next weekend we got to get real about different things, and weekends will go quick.
They always do. They always do.
Try to get to go see family. I'm not sure when before we go, because it's going to be busy after that. But yeah, just one of those weekends. It's not even like terrible weather. But we will walk our fur baby one more time to her favorite park and down the favorite little stretch in front of that apartment building that she always wants to jerk us to, that we never go down.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take her on that nice long walk one more time.
Yep. Right around the tree line so she can sniff everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just got to make sure the snow's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just one more time.
Makes her happy.
But a lot of the snow has already melted that we got last night.
Yeah. Again.
Gratefully. Oh, yeah.
Give it time. More's coming.
I know. How does that go? March came in like, I think it came in like a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
That means it'll go out like a lion, as the saying goes.
Something like that.
It's supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah.
If it came in like a lion, it would go out like a lamb.
Yeah, it's Michigan.
I don't know where that came from.
Given some place that has more stable seasons, I'm guessing.
I suppose so. I suppose so.
Here, when it's really cold, and then you could have a 30-degree day and a 60-degree day within a day of each other. You just don't know. Like, there are times you're going to be in shorts and a t-shirt, and later on in the day in a parka. You just don't know. You just really do not know.
Right. I went to go see, I Can Only Imagine 2 Friday evening. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it was still very nice out when we were out. It was. Very, very nice. There were people in shorts, and I'm like, okay, I'm not quite ready for that, but
nope.
It was still a very nice day. Very nice evening. Held on for a minute. And then my face is telling me those extremes have been happening. So,
yeah,
it was a good movie. If you'd seen the first one, it was touching in its own way, inspiring. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Because I love the song Even If, which is it's the story of how Even If came to be. Like the events that kind of led to, and I know it's supposed to be spanned over a period of time that they couldn't quite capture within the movie, but they did a great job of presenting that. They did a pretty good job, I think. And then the "It Is Well with My Soul," which is, or I think it's called "It Is Well," is the current song, and it also displays that as well. But if you stay till the very, very end credits, right, the very last thing they play is the recording that is referenced in the movie. So I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. So you kind of hear that very first, like the genesis of the song. Yes. So.
For me, the end of the movie, you get to see the Red Rocks Amphitheater, and I have never wanted to go to Colorado so bad.
I know, right? It looked amazing.
That is a phenomenal venue.
Yeah, looked amazing.
That has got to be something. I've
heard of it, but I didn't really hear a lot about it, and I've never seen it.
No, seen it now, and holy moly, that's impressive.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. Had a little date night. Mm-hmm. Of course, the mall was closed by the time we were done, so you could not get your Chinese.
Nope.
As you normally would.
Yep.
So we settled for Arby's Not a Sponsor.
Yes. Yeah.
You like how I crammed that all in there in one breath? Arby's Not a Sponsor.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yep.
We don't go out much. There's not many things I give my money to at the theater anymore.
No, not really. This one's was a little odd. I want to support that kind of movie, but usually it's like I want it to be a spectacle that you're going to go see. Yeah. Where having that huge screen and the giant sound system makes a difference.
Yeah.
And that's not the norm for a lot of movies.
For us, it's been like, it was like all the Marvel movies, stuff like that.
Yeah, where it's just a big visual auditory spectacle.
I don't even know when the next big thing like that would be in the theater. I've been paying no attention.
Yeah.
And
I can't say I've seen much that makes me want to, so I got to see that in the theater. Yeah, not a whole lot. Not really.
If it wasn't for the platforms our kids pay for, because now our oldest working again can contribute to that, we would not have them, but they watch things on them.
Yep. Well,
Probably did more surfing today than I'd done in months.
I'm a really simple guy. There's like 20. I'll occasionally kick on something new and watch it and whatever, but there's like 20 movies that I'm going to watch over and over and over again because I'm not actually watching. I just want a familiar sound that I don't have to pay attention to, that I can glance back at and catch up. It's like, oh, that's where we're at. Okay, cool. And it's just something there going on in the background.
For the most part, I mean, I trained myself forever ago. I sleep with the TV on. So I have, like, since we've been married. I would say since we had our oldest, because when you'd be gone and then I'd just be up watching TV and I'd fall asleep to it with her and all that. I think that's really when I started training myself. But I don't mind it. Like, it doesn't bother me that I'm aware of. It doesn't interrupt me. And I wake up when it goes off. So I'm aware of it. And I'm very mindful of what is on.
It's quiet.
Like, it's not just any old thing.
Yeah.
And
it's always weird coming in and the Weather Channel's on. It's like,
yeah.
That's what you had on? Really?
Because if it was just like...
That's weird.
Yeah, if it was just the thing.
24-hour Hallmark during Christmas.
Yeah, I've done that plenty. Yep. And then I've switched to Great American Family a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fewer surprises that way.
I barely do Hallmark, to be honest. Not a sponsor. Which, by the way, we avoided any true crimes today that had anything to do with, like, neighbors, neighborhoods, frogging, anything that, anything I was going to be freaked out by. As we were even talking about, like, new security systems for the new place. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just my mindset. I haven't forgotten that I might have at least one adult child with me at night now, maybe two, depending on the night. But, yeah, still doesn't mean it's not freaky. So, and the dog, of course.
And the doorbell, yes.
The doorbell. Which, who knows how she's going to be. I can't imagine yet.
It's going to be interesting.
We're going to figure this out. But anyway, like MST3K or just something silly or, I don't know. Sometimes I'll fall asleep. If I fall asleep with Gutfeld on or like at the very end, I'm not even like conscious enough to like change channel. It'll be Fox News all night, but it's not that big of a deal.
No.
Like, it's not like it wakes me up.
No.
So.
Yeah.
And on weekends, it's usually Great American Family or MST3K. I like the Friday Night Christmas movies.
Sure. Okay.
I like it.
There's an old statement that there's no new stories. Yeah, it's like
sort of
like every story's been told. It's just you take the components, you shuffle them, and put new names to it. And it's like there's always that joke. It's like there's the Hallmark movies. There's 7 plots and 10 actors. Like...
You read a joke to me earlier today about I've seen enough Hallmark. I know how this is going to end.
Oh yeah. That was funny. It was. I don't remember.
It's just something dumb, basically, that sounded like a Hallmark plot.
Well, the condensed version and paraphrasing. It was not a text. It was a tweet from a gal whose boyfriend is visiting family, and like his dad had to go to the ER, but he wasn't worried because he knew the doctor that would be taking care of him because he dated his daughter. And the girlfriend is like, I've seen enough Hallmark movies. I'm on a plane later this evening. And it's like, it was just funny. I was like, yeah, that's actually pretty hysterical. But yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyway. Anyway.
We are going to talk about the prompt that you had picked last week before I switched it up on you.
Sure.
So, is there a reason why you picked this?
No. specifically. They're just, it sums up a lot of situations we've dealt with over the years.
That's fair.
And our daughters have had to deal with in their own specific ways in their own situations.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I was like, yeah, And we've kind of talked about it before. This kind of just summed it up better, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, just a, I don't know, meme that you found.
Yeah, it was just something somebody threw up on Instagram that came up in my feed at one point. But I'll read the whole thing, but only the second half is like what we're going to talk about. I'm in love with this quote. I don't walk away to teach people a lesson. I walk away because I learned mine.
Yes, I would not say either one of us are in love with that quote. Okay, what are your initial thoughts on that?
Well, and I honestly, I think I heard somebody say in a different context, they were leaving a job, and they quit, and this job to move somewhere else, and he told his kid that he quit, and the kid got really upset because, well, you told me you should never quit, and he was like, okay, this is a life lesson. There's a difference in quitting because you give up and quitting so that you can grab a hold of something better. So two different mindsets. Like it's not necessarily the act of quitting, it's the why you quit. And this is kind of it's like in both cases, with this thing, this statement is you're walking away. So to the outside observer, you just walked away. But the rationale is completely different. If you're leaving to hurt somebody, you have some growing to do. I mean, to put a fine point on it, it's like trying to be. If you're actively trying to hurt someone, you've got some growing to do. Like, not saying that leaving won't hurt somebody, but if the point is to hurt somebody, it's like if you're walking so you don't get hurt anymore, that's completely different than leaving so that person feels pain.
That is different. Maliciousness. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That was the word I was looking for, and it was escaping me. Thank you. Mm-hmm. There's a big, I mean, again, it looks the same to the casual observer. They left. Well, how could they leave? It's like, how could they leave? It's like the only way to stop getting stabbed was to walk out of the room. Like, now, just because if it was somebody obviously with a knife stabbing them and the person walks away, completely understandable. But there are things that hurt way more than actually physically getting hurt. I mean, it leaves scars, you heal up, you get better. The emotional scars, the emotional damage, that lingers without visible scars. It shows up in behavior and emotional responses, but it doesn't show up. The casual observer just doesn't see anything wrong. They just left. It's like, well, but did they? Did they just leave, or did they leave to protect themselves? Now, the person that got left might not understand that. In fact, I can guarantee in certain circumstances that I referenced with our family, I can almost guarantee they don't see it like that. The person that was left did not see it that way. The job that got left didn't see it that way. Okay, we've said it before. It's like nobody is the villain in their own story.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sees themselves as the villain, and not even necessarily saying that they were a villain, but a person in their carelessness and in their very myopic viewpoint can't comprehend the damage they're doing to somebody else. They're so nearsighted. All they see is them and what they're doing for themselves. They don't see that it's like, yeah, you're nice and toasty warm, but you got nice and toasty warm by setting me on fire.
That's a good way to put it.
And at least with our daughter, that was kind of the case. She walked away because she was constantly being set on fire to keep her friend warm.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's a metaphorical fire.
With a cognizance that she couldn't have known when she started that habit what that was going to turn into.
No. And you rarely, and I am really big on loyalty.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm it's loyal to you, loyal to the family, loyal to friends, loyal to the job. But there comes a point where you have to prioritize. I'm not going to jeopardize us for a friend. So if there's a decision that has to be made, sorry, I made that decision. Man.
And not above God.
Sorry, no, it's like every now and again, like 29 years. It's going to be 29 years. Oh my gosh. Anyway, sorry.
We will have been married almost 29. We are at almost 29 years.
Yep. But it's like I made that decision official and publicly almost 29 years ago. No, sorry, you lose. If I have to choose, goodbye. And it's not that I don't want to be loyal. It's not that I don't care. It's if I'm in a position where my relationship with you, with these people over here outside of us, or my relationship with us, sorry, they lose. It's like, I'm walking away. And I'm not walking away to hurt you, even though I know it's going to hurt. I'm not walking away to abandon you, even though I know you're going to feel abandoned. I'm walking away because I have to protect what's more valuable.
Now, on one side of that, to have a mature conversation, despite how the individual may or may not hear or receive it.
Yes.
Because when you are wounded, you're going to have a hard time processing.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that certain words be said, right?
Yes.
That it's not just like abandonment
you
or malicious.
I mean, they're not saying you can't say. There's never a situation where ghosting someone isn't the correct response. Just shut that door immediately, close off.
It depends on the circumstances.
But I'm going to say that is the extreme minority of cases.
I mean, you're an adult and you should be able to use your words. And again, you can't always receive.
Yeah,
can't always control how it's received.
No. And you can say everything, you can get it all out there, but it doesn't mean that they're capable of actually hearing what's being said.
But I just said that.
Yeah, I am. I'm reiterating. I'm reiterating.
And then there's the happenstance and circumstance, and we've had relationships fall by the wayside because of that too. But when you're talking about the active walking away, like within this prompt, I don't walk away to teach people a lesson.
Hello, doggy.
Sorry about that. To teach people a lesson, I walk away because I learned mine. If we're going to use our daughter's situation as an example, by default, we were part of that walking away, and neither of us had the opportunity to actually put words to it. We left that to our daughter because it was her relationship, over 7 years. But she knew, like, that this young lady mattered to us too. Mm-hmm. But she also knew we would support her and we would back her, and this was her relationship to end, and there was no pretty way to do that. There was a lot of things she could have said. Yes, there were some things I wish she did say differently, or said at all. But
Sure.
that was her choice. It was her choice how
Yes.
to do it, and we were left without a voice. And it saddened me to a degree. I could have reached out. I could have said more, but I just felt that was up to our daughter to handle. And
Well, and
then
I mean,
there's just the perception that as she relayed to our daughter in her response, this former friend, it was basically all just turned against me, and you don't understand me, and I never should have trusted you anyway. And she just went off that hurt deep end in a very immature way. And she said some things that were very immature, and I know she was wounded.
which is
Grown adults would do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, and
there was no getting around it.
yeah, no.
Like it was not going to be a pretty end.
No. Well, there's a hope at some point as maturity shows up that comprehension of what was said sinks in. One can hope.
To the example of this, I don't walk away to teach people a lesson. I walk away because I learned mine. You're implying that there's toxicity or unhealth within the person, the party that's involved.
Well,
or there wouldn't be a reason to walk away.
Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes I think it's not necessarily the person, but the situation. And good people put themselves into bad places. And it's let's say a Ponzi scheme, for instance. The individuals involved might have the best of intentions. They might bring you in under the best of intentions. Hey, this whole thing is great, because they believe it. Their ignorance infected you, and you learn later on that, okay, this is a bad thing, and you need to walk away. It's not necessary. I'm going to say most of the time, yeah, probably there's a situation that somebody actively chose, or a path, or a manner of being that you just can't support anymore, and can't be drug along with anymore, and you have to call it quits. But but I'm not going to say it's not possible. That it's just you're both on paths. There's no that you have to diverge, and you can't be a part of it without actually, somebody being, bad, or the evil one in that case. I'd love to give an example. I'm just, devil's advocate here. It's like
I don't know. That's not necessarily how I read that, but okay.
No, but I mean, they're walking away from the situation, not necessarily, and because they're walking away from the situation, they're walking away from the people that are in it. It's like leaving a party. It's like, okay, the drugs came out, I'm gone. It's like, you know what, you want to leave, you kind of, I mean, this is talking about relationships. I'm just using it a situation as an example. Like, okay, that's your thing, I'm out. I'm not judging. I'm like, whatever. It's like, I'm not there. That's not me. That's not what I'm doing. That's not where I'm going. I'm out of here. Situations like that sometimes happen, and you leave the situation because you learn something. At some point you learn this is not where I need to be, and you walk. Sometimes that means you have to walk away permanently from the people that's their life. An alcoholic, as I recall, never having been into the 12-step programs, because I've never ended up in that path in life. But a constant thing I've heard is you have to create new relationships, because the old relationships are the ones that took you down that path.
Yeah.
It's like if you got together with all of your friends and they were your drinking buddies, and your entire life revolved around them being your drinking buddies, and you're trying to stay sober, you can't be around them because they're going to pull you down. Well, you're walking away from them. Not because they're bad, but because you learned something about yourself that can't abide by that anymore. So you're walking away from your friends, and they're going to feel abandoned, but you learned a lesson that's important for you. And because of that, your path now has to diverge drastically. You're not leaving because I can't stand you when you're drunk. I'm leaving because I can't stand me when I'm drunk. and I can't not be drunk when I'm with you. So I'm out. Again, as an example, hypothetical situation, even though I guarantee that's not so hypothetical for somebody out there. Like I would say more times than not, I can see this being interpersonal. You're leaving because of a person and not a situation. People walking away from...
That would imply that the person is perpetually, like, causing the situation.
Sure. Or, part
of them.
Yeah.
Part of the, yeah.
Or, I mean, it could be a group, could be a job, could be whatever. It's like there's something there that you can no longer abide by. I cannot, in good conscience... You hear of people quitting jobs because of moral objections to whatever. Well, you took the job and you worked there forever. Why is it a problem now? It's like, simply, I grew up. Or I became aware. Or something in my life changed and I realized exactly how awful this situation really is. When I left my previous employer, I didn't leave them because they were bad or because they were evil or because they were doing things I disagreed with. Okay, strike that. I did disagree with. I left because of... It was obvious how bad some of the management was and some of the financial decisions were. And I learned the lesson that I'm not going to let my family be put in jeopardy financially and physically because of some guy in a cushy air-conditioned office who's making bad decisions, which are hurting me. I'm out. I learned the lesson a long time ago. I can see bad decisions, and they're going to ripple, and I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm changing my situation because of it. Again, not evil, wrong, ignorant decisions, poor decisions, but nothing evil. It wasn't like, and it wasn't a personal thing, and I would like to think my absence caused some discomfort for people. Don't know that, but I would like to think that I had a good positive effect that my absence was noticed. Would like to think. I don't know that, but I would like to think. But I mean, the kind of idea, though, is, as we mature, as we're all supposed to grow, we're all supposed to mature, we're all supposed to learn, we're supposed to become better versions of who we are supposed to be, or at least who we could be. And in the process, you're going to learn things about yourself and the people around you and how those pieces really shouldn't be going together. And sometimes that happens, it's just a drifting away.
Which we've experienced quite a bit of.
Which everybody, it's like those people that you were, effectively, attached at the hip when you were younger days. And then over time you start losing touch, you start losing communication, and then you realize, I haven't talked to that person in years. They were such a huge part of my life that I couldn't imagine my future without them in it, I can't imagine my presence with them in it. My present.
Present.
Yeah, my present without them in it. And that's kind of it's a long drawn out version of it. It's like your path slowly diverged as you grew. Now, hopefully they grew in a different direction that's feeding them well. And other times it's way more drastic than that. It's like, that's this action, this activity, this belief. And I'm not a big proponent of leaving because of a difference of opinion. In any situation. I'm a firm believer, let's talk. Even we can disagree. I can love you and disagree. I've talked about that before. I can love you and disagree. And sometimes it just means, when we're together, we just won't talk about this because there's no way, we're just going to have a heated conversation and we're going to be upset and I'm still going to love you, but it's going to be uncomfortable and we don't need that. It takes the joy out of getting together. But there are some things that are just so diametrically opposed, it's like they can't coexist in the same space. And again, I'm not saying, political or religious views, sometimes they can go pretty far. And it might be something you have to consider. I'm not saying that definitively, but Like, you think it's perfectly okay to take advantage of me at every possible opportunity. No. You can badmouth my wife. Nope, that's not going to happen. You can treat me like I owe you stuff when all I do is volunteer and give. No, sorry, we're not doing that. It's like that kind of belief. You think I owe you. Really?
No.
Why? No, it's different. It's like friends help each other out. It's like, you know what? I helped you move 3 times. You can help me move this once. Okay, you know what? You're right. I owe you. I'll owe you that one. Okay? It's like, I bought dinner the last 3 times. Can you pick this check up? You know what? I owe you. Okay, sure. Cool. All right. That kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. It's that ever oppressive debt that doesn't exist. You owe it to them because, well, I was nice enough to be your friend. I stooped down and brought you along. Like, yeah, no. The I'm superior, you're inferior mindset. No, sorry, I don't think so. Or, they're perfectly okay with emotional abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse, manipulation, lying. They're perfectly okay with that.
We've had plenty of that in our lives.
Where, they'll do whatever they can to get what they need out of you. And I was like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm walking away from that. I mean, with our daughter's friend, we helped out as much as we could. We tried to help that whole situation as best as we could with her entire family and her little family that she started. We tried to help where we can, where we could. And we supported where we could. And we tried to give correction where we could.
It was just a line.
But there comes a point where
choices were made.
Choices were made. Now, there's, there's a thing with lifeguards. They teach you that if you can't, there comes a point where you can't save them, save yourself. It's like you do everything within your power to save them. But if trying to save them is going to kill you, you save yourself. That's not an easy decision to make. I can't imagine being in that position where it's like, there's no way I can save us both. It's either we both drown or you drown. I can't imagine being in that position. And you don't want to be in that position. But there comes a point where if staying is going to drag me down with you, to make the decision to walk away is a very difficult one that I'd be really hard-pressed to give anybody grief over making. Even if I don't know all the situations. All the details, our daughter is dealing with things that is 100% hers and hers alone. Mm-hmm. And what she shares is the tip of the iceberg. And it's like, I don't, in the same situation would I have walked away? I don't know. But I'm not in that situation. And I'll give her all the props in the world. This wasn't an emotional decision.
No.
She spent a lot of time racking herself over this. It took quite a while for her to get to that point. It wasn't a rash emotional decision. It was a decision made because she was being pulled under. And she couldn't. It's like, I can save myself, but I can't save us both.
There was no getting any air anymore.
And she chose to do that. And yeah, sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself
if I was 19 and facing the same thing, I probably would have made the same decision. Mm-hmm. But, with my 46-year-old brain, of course I look at it differently.
Yes.
However, I will say, and I've said this of my clients, right, I can see some of the similarities and some of the training. There's certain diagnoses that you have to officially receive from a higher level psychologist or psychiatrist when it comes to personality disorders. Mm-hmm. And I said before, this young lady was diagnosed with something, or I should say it was a high suspicion of and it never went any further. A few years ago, it was borderline personality disorder. She'd scored pretty high on a screener, and then it all made sense to me. It all made sense to her. I remember helping her research it. And I have since now run into clients in their teens where I could easily say that they're headed down that road. You can tell there is a certain age where you can see all the criteria.
Yes.
You just can't diagnose them because they're 18, right? But I've talked to parents too. I've talked to a few different parents that, oh, my child went to, Pine Rest, which is the big mental health facility here that has inpatient resources, or Forest View is the other one. That I've heard of, like, I went and they said, hand me these brochures and said that it was histrionic or it was borderline personality disorders. And, we can't, diagnose them and we can't really treat them, but, I wanted to talk to you about it. And here's some ideas, here's some techniques and tactics, it's like, whatever. I say all that to say this young lady has something more. We've known she has something more, and it just kind of kept growing, and that was the lesson our daughter learned. Our daughter learned a very real life lesson of this is what that can look like, and completely unchecked, completely not acknowledged. It's ugly, and it causes a lot of hurt.
Yes.
And it was just out of control, and it wasn't getting any better. In fact, it was getting worse. So it's not an excuse, it's an explanation sometimes.
No. Yeah.
Right? That mental illness can shade people of all ages.
Yes.
It is not discriminatory. Sometimes it's difficult to differentiate and give patience and credence to it. And our daughter tried that for a really long time in that specific example. Now for us, in our friendships, in our married life, we faced the same thing with mentally ill loved ones that changed, not for the better over time. And then decisions were made.
Yes.
And sometimes the decisions were just made for us. We didn't have to make them. It's not pretty.
Yeah. Well,
But I learned my lesson, and I'm not going to go back toward that shark anytime soon.
No.
Thanks. Yeah,
well,
I'm good.
Back to the, it's the reason, not the excuse. Like I'm a big fan of reasons.
That's an explanation.
It's there's an explanation, not an excuse. It's like it explains certain things, but it doesn't necessarily excuse them.
No. Because she was certainly in a position she could have gotten help.
Yes.
And we talked about it.
Yes, and we tried to facilitate.
Yep. More than once. At her request.
Yes.
And then she would do nothing with it.
Often. It's like, okay, I have my personal opinions on a lot of stuff. Big shock. We're doing a podcast.
A lot of stuff.
Everything. I have an opinion on everything, but you can convince me otherwise. Go for it. But having dealt with my own personal issues, or more accurately, dealing with my own personal issues, people use diagnoses as an excuse, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of diagnoses in some respects. For instance, the borderline personality disorder, ADHD. Like, I can speak to that one. People get the label and now they treat it like that's the excuse. Now they don't have to. Well, you have to put up with that. I have this. No.
You mean like your youngest used to talk about?
Yeah. No. Sorry. Guess what? That's not how this works. The point of getting those the alphabet soup diagnoses, BPD, ADHD, ADD, blah, 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 blah. It isn't to excuse the behavior. It's to understand it's supposed to be an explanation of the behavior. so that you can learn about it, and how to work with it.
And not everybody might want to come along on that ride.
Sure.
That is true.
And I appreciate it, but nobody should ever allow you to use a diagnosis like that as an excuse. And that could be the lesson that you learn that makes you walk away. It's like, you want me to excuse this awful behavior, but you know why you're behaving like that, and you could choose to do otherwise. There are people who have, physiologically, they have issues neurologically, physiologically, where they have serious impulse control issues. Certain types of tumors, brain injuries, neurological malformations where they don't have the capability for impulse control. If they have a thought, it is acted upon. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people who have, again, speaking to the ADHD, I have a lot of crap that pops into my freaking head. And I can cognitively know, it's like that thought that just popped into my head, that's a bad idea. We're not doing that.
Well, I don't know how far down this hole you want to go.
Not too far.
Okay.
So it's like, you don't, you know better, and you don't do better.
That's on you.
That's on you. It's not your specific letters in the alphabet that's causing that issue. It's you. You're choosing not to. And in choosing not to, I get to choose for yourself. You're choosing not to for yourself. I can choose to learn that lesson and go, I'm not going to be around this. You want to be that? You can be that. But you can be that without me, because that's your behavior can be. It's like, I don't want to say that, I don't want it to come across as your behaving yourself is the price of entry for me into your life. I don't want to say it like that. But your poor behavior shuts the door in my life to you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I don't have to be treated poorly. Which kind of, we said before.
Now we're coming around, yeah.
Yeah, it's like someone else's behavior can make the decision for you. It's like, I learned I'm worth more than how you're treating me. And that's not an egotistical thing. That's a basic human being thing. It's like, if you wouldn't treat a dog like that, why are you treating me like that? There's one thing to owe a debt, and having somebody call that debt. Like, again, I helped you move 3 times. You can help me move this once. It's like, okay, yeah,
right.
You know what? You're right. I owe you that one. I'll owe you that. That's more of a playful, friends interacting kind of thing. It's, you're breathing. You owe me. Is not an acceptable. I let you in my life. That's not acceptable as a debt. I'm sorry. You don't get to treat me like that. In our daughter's case, it's like your presence and your behavior and your decisions are causing me harm.
Perpetually, increasingly so.
And in her case, it's like, okay, you tell me all of these bad things and you don't want to do all of this stuff. And then you go, well, I never said that. What? Really? Because we have witnesses. You said all that. Well, I didn't mean it. You did mean it.
Yeah.
That's why you said it.
I got video of some of it.
We have video. Yeah, we have some video. We have witnesses. We have multiple witnesses. Yeah, you did say it. And yeah, you did mean it. And now you're treating somebody you supposedly care about like they're crazy for saying, hey, wait a sec, you just said all of this stuff. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Oh, okay. No, sorry. You just closed the door a little bit more. And then when the door's actually fully closed, you're like, oh, but how could you do that to me? Like, really? Like, every one of those. She didn't just learn, our daughter didn't learn a lesson. She sat back and watched and learned 100 little things that added up to close that door. And like I said, I'm not a huge proponent of closing the door on things, on people in particular. But if leaving that door open could destroy you, close that door.
Well,
If there's a fire on the other side of the door, you leave that door closed.
we have had friends that in a similar boat, right? We handled it differently as adults, and it was different situations. But yes, it's there's only so much toxicity, even for surface relationship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you learn that. You learn as an adult, right? With time and experience, and it doesn't mean that's less painful.
Yes.
No. We've even discussed like who to tell that we're moving and who might help or whatever. You know, like it was like, okay, wow, life has changed.
Yes.
Because there was a time when it would have been more people, but I mean, the truth was that some of those people were incredibly self-serving. And
true.
That's my family, by the way, that I'm describing. So I'll say it.
There's that. Yeah.
And it's not the same. It's not even close. And that's okay. And then there's the other friends that would just be like, yeah, it'd be nice to like call up. I don't know how awkward that might be, but
well, and there are situations that we've experienced where either something outside of blew up or inside their relationship blew up, and we were caught in the blast radius. And in the midst of the chaos, we did everything we could in the midst of all of that baloney. And we left the door open, and we did what we could where we could. And in some cases, it was a lot, emotionally draining, and like I said, it's like we don't walk away. We don't just walk away for nothing. It's like you've got to. I can carry a lot of load. I can deal with a lot of pain. I can deal with a lot of hurt. And if you're in the middle of your entire world burning down,
but my ethics and values aren't going to be compromised.
No, not going to cut. I'm not.
I wouldn't.
No, I'm
not.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying compromise yourself to be there. I'm saying it's like sometimes being a friend means getting burned too.
And actually, the lesson I've learned, it's been more of who can tolerate my ethics and my values, and who doesn't use them to their advantage in a moment where they want something, not in a reciprocal relationship. Well, and so I've certainly learned that.
Definitely. I'm just like I was saying, it's not like I don't walk away lightly.
No.
And I don't walk away because it's difficult. Because there have been a lot of difficult. But like the alcoholic trying to change their life kind of analogy, it comes a point, it's like, okay, the fire's out, the damage is still there. But in the process of dealing with that damage, you're going to destroy everything else, including the people that are outside of you helping out. It's like, I can't do that. Like, I can't let you destroy what I've got because you're not done blowing it up yet. I can't do that. You have to have priorities. You have to, and like I said before, it's like, yeah, okay, yep. Almost 29 years ago, I made that, like, nope, guess what? You're it. Like, here in front of all these witnesses, including some of the people that we're talking about, like, in front of everybody, nope, she's my number one priority. And it's, there are times, like, that's been an easier decision to make than others, and there's times where the price of maintaining that has been very high. But I'm sorry, I made that decision a long time ago. There is no second guessing that. That was the point. It's like, that decision's made. We're not remaking it. That decision's been made.
Yeah, a little different vein, but yeah.
Yes. However.
Yes.
However. That isn't just, I don't want anybody to think it's like, oh, well, there's never Sometimes a decision that has to be made is walking away, closing the door. And sometimes it's a person that you least wanted to. But you better be real. The closer and deeper the tie, the more time you need to spend at, can this be fixed? Now, I've heard, this was a long time ago, somebody very ignorantly said to me, it takes two people to ruin a relationship. No, that is drastically and categorically false.
Not true.
It takes two people to make it work. And it's almost never two people working at the same level, at the same thing, at the same time. You know, it's almost never equal in that regard. But one person can definitely blow up a relationship.
Absolutely.
It only takes one person not committed to making it work. Not saying it's easy, because it's never easy. Two human beings interacting with each other in close proximity for an extended period of time, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be headbutting, there's going to be personality clashes, there's going to be disagreements. And that's okay. But like I said, we're not talking about the casual learning, oh, what do you mean you like walnuts? Oh, this is over. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking deep-seated, core issues that just can't be overcome. That is why communication is key. It's always key. It's key with your friends. It's key in your relationships. But there comes a point where... Huge proponent. But if somebody isn't listening, or if somebody isn't... they keep setting you on fire, and you say, hey, that hurts, stop it, and they say yes, and then they turn around and set you on fire again, at some point... It's not about the matches and it's not about the gasoline. It's about no longer being in that room with them anymore. And then never allowing yourself to be in that same room again.
Fair enough.
You shouldn't be in a relationship with that person anyway. You shouldn't have started that relationship anyway. Another story for another. That's another thing for another time. However, breathe.
Do you feel like you said the things you wanted to say about this?
I hope so. I'd like to hope so.
Okay.
And I hope we kind of covered it and kind of hope somebody out there can hear what we mean by it. It's like, that if you leave, don't leave from maliciousness.
Well, and there's a huge mental health perspective to all of it.
Oh,
too,
huge.
We don't
definitely
have enough time for that, but
that could be a series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your mental health matters.
But as a general rule, we do, man, I hate doing that. As a general rule, I do generalities.
A general rule.
Yeah. And in general, the idea is you don't walk away to hurt somebody. You walk away to stop from being hurt.
And that healing process is not instantaneous.
No.
But it will at least bring less pain over time.
Mm-hmm. You want the least amount of pain and conflict. Don't avoid the pain and conflict when it's little. So having a difficult conversation with little stuff, it's like, hey, when you threw that lit match in my lap, it burned and I didn't like it and I'd appreciate that not happening anymore. Is way easier to have that conversation than when you're completely engulfed in flames and they keep piling gas on it. Now you've got a big issue. You can avoid that. You don't have to worry about a lot of it. But if that person, if they keep doing it, that's a lesson you need to learn. Obviously, what's important, what's necessary for you and your safety and health and well-being is obviously not a priority. Learn that lesson. Believe them. Close that door. Walk away. And maybe, just maybe, again, not maliciousness. We've walked away from a lot of stuff. Never done it to be malicious. We've walked away with the hope that someday we can open that door again and they're going to be healthy on the other side. And sometimes that that discomfort that comes from being left behind or having the door closed on you might be the catalyst that causes some introspection and growth. Mm-hmm. Having difficulty, I'm tripping over my own tongue. So even if, leaving, walking away causes pain, grief, discomfort, whatever the situation dictates, anytime we've done it, it was always with the hope that someday we want what's best for you. Mm-hmm. And even the situations where we were hurt, betrayed, lied to, walking away still hurt for us. Mm-hmm. You kind of know it hurt for them.
That's
and it was always,
it's true.
I really hope, really deep down, hope and pray that someday we can get back together and we're both better for it. And even if we don't, I still want you to be better.
Down the road.
Like our daughter's friend, it's like in all seriousness, with all humility, we want what is absolutely best for you and your family. Mm-hmm. Without exception.
Absolutely.
And if that happens to include a life without us anywhere in it, so be it. But we still want you to be the best that you can be.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, anyway, leaving on that lighter note.
We need to get back to funny. What happened to that?
It's hard to. I'm not a comedian. I can't force funny.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we'll have to talk more about that. We'll do that off mic.
When we're not recording?
Yeah.
Sure, I guess. So.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. Calming air in, calming air out.
I don't normally say that, but you can say it to yourself if you want. But we shall end this, as we do try to keep this to a time frame. And I think we've reached a point of conclusion.
Sure. Until next time. I'm Fix It.
I'm Feel It.
We hope you join us in the future.
Until next week.
Y'all have a great one.
Happy daylight savings if it applies to you.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
But we will see you next week. Hear you, listen to you, we'll talk to you.